Hi and welcome. I didn't plan to make this video, that's why I'm starting Tarantino style right in the middle. You can see this is a dashboard. This is more precisely the dashboard of a 2006 S2R 1000 Monster. And you can see this was a little bit UV damaged. When I was removing it, it just cracked apart, and also you see this is the normal color and it got so sun damaged that it turned into this ugly yellow. This is a Venoxy replacement screen, and we're gonna put that one in. The videos that are on YouTube so far about assembling this are for the Magneti Rally dashboard, and I almost broke this part because the video said, oh, just tear it off, but there were actually screws holding in place. So I did a very slight damage, but nothing that will impact the functionality. But yeah, I'm just gonna reassemble everything and show you how it works. So if you take this apart, that you don't have to break anything. So with this being super brittle and destroyed, we're gonna pop in a new one. Also, even the needles, they are very UV damaged. So when I just touch this black plastic with my fingernails, it leaves a scratch. So very brittle. This bike is at the time of recording 18 years old, and I'm doing a restoration. So trying to get this one back into shape. A couple of smaller things also. There is a gasket around here, so I'm using some glue to keep that in place. The gasket is overall still in good shape, but the glue that kept it on this lip was dissolved already, so I used some clear Gorilla Glue. You can also use what E9000, I think it's named. Because the nice thing about this, it's fully removable and very easy to work with. So I put that on the lip to keep the seal in place so we don't get any water inside there. Then the biggest trick also to remove those needles is usually people say just use 2 spoons and then pry them out. However, these have these little clips that are under it, which makes it kind of impossible to use the spoons easily on it. So the trick that I used is, while these are made to rotate clockwise, if you turn it counterclockwise, the stepper motor will not let it go any further. So if you turn it this way and pull up at the same time, pull and turn this way, it will come out really easily. But the trick is to turn it and push up at the same time. Or let's say turn it and pull up at the same time. Then they come out. Also, there's like a little counterweight in there and this little clear plastic that holds everything in place. So if you just pull on it, this comes all apart and then it's easy to break it. So the turning and pulling made it very safe and easy to remove these guys. So without further ado, let's start to put things back together. Okie dokie. Step number 1. Now these are pretty nice. The print quality is pretty much OEM. They make a lot of replacement parts for BMWs and so on. Also, what is cool is that you don't lose any of the lighting capabilities. For example, the numbers are printed in a different way, so that if you have the background illumination on at night, you can actually see the numbers and it all glows and looks stock. So really cool. So this is a little bit thicker than the piece that I removed and it just fell apart. So let's see. These little clips will hold this in place, and I hope that is not too thick. That seems to work. Get the second one. So yeah, these two guys now hold everything in place. Reinstalling the needles. Now we'll start it off at 0, but that's not where they actually were. Well, let's see, I will gently push this down. And I think I will do the same trick. So I spin it counterclockwise and push it gently down. Yeah, that works really nice. That looks good. All right, one down, second one to go. Same spiel for that one. And for the removal as well, so just put it in and then turn it and push a little bit for installation, and for removal, of course, pull while turning. All right, looking mint. Just a quick comparison. This is old versus new, so huge difference. You might see in this GoPro a little bit, there's some scratches here. So I'm going to use a car headlight restoration kit on this. But the biggest thing that's different is on this version, you don't have to remove this part. This is not how you get access. There's no screws under here. And I almost broke this part in two. So you can skip this one, but there's a couple of screws that hold this in place. So it doesn't just snap off like the stock or like the Magneti Marelli one. So there are two screws here and one screw here that hold it in place. This middle one I broke, but there's another one on the bottom that holds it, so not a problem. So I'm just gonna put the two one on top in, and then also clean the rubber. And don't forget to put that in. That is here for your buttons. All right, that keeps this nice in place. That is for 3 of them, 1, 2, 3. And the remaining 2 go here and here to just attach the motherboard. Well, just the electronic support. There's also clips here, 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 and here to hold it in place. So it's not really like the logic board would go anywhere. You also don't want it to vibrate around and get damaged from vibration, etc. So we're gonna put it all back together as it was. Whoosh! Welcome back! By the power of the magic of the internet, we are now a couple of days in the future, and you see this made some progress. It's not fully assembled, it's just like put on there, so I can see how everything looks like. Why is this so glossy? So in the last video I showed you, I put these Venoxy gauge faces on, but now we also have the glass polished, and it looks super dripping wet and nice. What I did is right here. So I used step 2 fine scratch remover from Novus. I will put a link in the description below. For this, I really just put it on a microfiber towel and then polished the lens from the inside and outside. And after that, you have a very fine, hazed, polished material, and you need to put a new clear coat on. And I still had this Cerakote ceramic headlight restoration kit, which I also used on the Ducati for the headlight, but it has a really nice ceramic coat that I then applied onto these, and you can see no more scratches. It looks really, really clean. It's a little bit tricky on how you apply it, but if you apply it right, it looks this glossy. If you have any problems with it, you mess something up, no problems, just go back and use this. It can polish off the ceramic coating pretty easily, and then you just apply it another time. So I'm really, really happy with this. Also, I didn't faff around to tape this all off with masking tape, so I just used the ceramic coating on the plastic as well. I was a little bit worried about it, maybe it would ruin the finish, but it just actually looks like a nice plastic restoration kit, and so the plastic is UV protected and also looks nice and glossy. So yeah, just from different angles you can see the reflections. It's really clear now to look through it. And yeah, this will go back on the bike. I have to put the screws back in, but I will zero it out on the bike first, and then we have a essentially brand new looking gauge cluster for this Ducati S2R 1000. Yeah, really excited, and off to the bike. Ta-da! And we are back in the garage with the trusty S2R 1000. So I just propped this up here and connected the cable very loosely in the back, so I can just make sure everything works. I already had a quick look at it, and it's maybe a little bit hard from this angle. I will zoom in. But now, as this is not fully closed yet, I want to make sure that the dials are exactly where they are. For that, you just turn on the power, you see everything works. And now we see the dials actually don't rest where the zeros are. So the 0 miles per hour are correct, but we are not at the 0 RPMs. So I'm just going to take off the top, and you can need to adjust it while the power is on. So when you turn it off, you see the needles drop down. So yeah, just leave it on standby and then remove the shield and zero it out. Remember, you can only turn it counterclockwise. Perfect, happy with that. So now we have to reassemble this and mount it properly. So for that I will use some compressed air, blow out any dust, because it will be annoying if we have some dust in there and then I will always see it. And then put on the faceplate and seal it all up with the screws. Now we will use the clips, clean it off once more. To not trap any dust. And that's also how you remove it. Make sure all the clips are locked in. All right. Now we have this assembled. Of course, this old weather seal is a little bit loose, so I'm going to apply some glue where needed. And now we will make sure to seal this unit. Nicely. Let's get the logic board screwed in. All right, we have 5 more. 1 for down here. There we have it, everything's sealed up again. Let's put it back on the bike. And while we're at it, these don't look so hot, so I'm gonna give it a quick brush with a Scotch-Brite pad, and then it will look much nicer. Right, a little bit of polishing, and it looks like this. Now let's put them back in. Connect it until it clicks. All right, and we have a display that looks a million times better again. Let's give it a try. Works perfectly. All right, job done. And yes, they also work in the dark, and it looks like this. Looks a million times better than before, and yeah, I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching. Please give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more about this Ducati. night. Bye.